I mean, like, Mexico has been really like it's been so different. Like, here has been really like work 24/7. So it's been really interesting to see. And one thing I want to tell you again about Mexico, now that we're on the topic, the Mexican people, not only are they so kind, incredible service, hospitable, beautiful energy, but I love, and I'm comparing it to just other places and specifically other Spanish-speaking countries, the way they speak. They're like, "Can you gift me a picture? Can you me regalas una foto?"
Yeah, but dude, I feel that like that's one of the like that's just the way we speak.
But I love it.
Like in restaurants, we'll say like, "Oye, me regalas una cerveza?"
Yeah, I love it.
But it's like obviously they're not gifting it.
I
to
know,
you.
but like for me, it was like, "Me regalas una foto?"
Yeah.
I thought it
So
was
they were
fun.
asking you for pics.
Yeah, after the seminar I did, they were asking,
Well,
"Me
dude.
regalas una foto?" I thought it was so cute. Number one rule for the podcast.
Give it to me.
I'm gonna give you some context,
Yeah.
and there's no context.
So it's like Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, and I don't know why I'm so out of breath, Fran.
It's the altitude, bro.
You keep telling me about that. Please explain.
Dude, Mexico City, I think it's more than 2,000 meters in altitude. So yeah, no oxygen, bro.
Like, I actually feel out of breath.
So fun fact for the viewers, actually when Formula One comes, they need to put maximum downforce on the car. So they need to make the wings as big as possible because there's so little oxygen that the cars can't stick to the ground. If you guys sort of know how Formula One works, the cars have these wings that make it stick to the ground because they're so thin here, they need to like overdo it.
Why were you so afraid to come on the podcast when you clearly have a bunch of fun facts to spit out? Uh-huh.
I wasn't afraid, bro.
Fran tells me, he's like, "What? Can I tell them?"
Go ahead, bro.
Thank you. Fran tells me before, he was like, "You saw Mejino's pod and you were interested by it." And then,
Dude, I was just excited to see my boy Mejino
On the pod.
spit some wisdom.
Yeah.
Shout out Mejino.
shout out
If
Mejino.
you're
Yeah.
listening.
But then, what did you tell me? You were like, "I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it." What were the words you
No,
said? Come
dude,
on.
I
What did you say?
didn't say that. I just said that, dude, let's do like a vlog or something.
Yeah, we can. You
Yeah,
are going to be in the
and
vlog.
we're also doing the vlog.
You'll be in the vlog.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want you to tell the people a little bit about how we know each other and who you are. But firstly, I thought you were serving the drinks and you didn't serve me any drink to me. Like, no, that's fine. It's too late now. I'll do it as you tell the people. You tell the people a little bit about yourself, please. How do we know each other?
Dude, I think actually this is actually a good story. Like we actually became close in football, right?
Oh, really?
Like close. Like actually friends. Like I feel like before we were on the football team, you were like Pedro's friend
Why are you holding a cheers?
because I thought you were gonna put it there.
No, I'm going to cheers you
Oh, cheers.
to a beautiful podcast. What I'm saying is, how do we actually know each other?
No, so we first met because you're my brother's best friend, basically.
Basically. And I met you literally. So actually, the first time I met you, technically, was at your house.
Yeah. Begonia 46.
It's fine. You can say the address. You don't live there anymore.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. But yeah, all of you who have been to Begonia, if any of you are watching, that place was a special place in my heart.
Me too, honestly.
But yeah, dude, I feel like so you were like best friends with my brother throughout high school, or even before
Middle
right?
school,
Middle
yeah.
school.
We met when we were like 12.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but dude, I feel like when we were both in the football team, that was like, dude, that's like
Which was what? How many years after we had?
dude,
met?
that was when I was in 12th grade. No, wait, no, when I was in 11th was my first year in the football team.
Okay, so I was 10. That was in
Yeah.
10th. Okay.
But,
Okay, yeah.
I feel that's when we were like,
Connected?
yeah, no, that's when we like actually like it was like a relationship separate from Pedro as well, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel that.
Like before, like we were like friends, but it was like always with
Hey,
Pedro.
we always used to play FIFA at home.
Yeah.
And this guy would he'd make me. I always told Fran he was such a comedian, which is true. He would make me laugh so much, and he knew that was my weakness because we were playing. We were playing, and you knew that you knew how to make me
Nah,
laugh.
dude.
So you'd make me laugh so much that my hands would literally go numb.
Nah, dude.
It was that funny. Yeah.
Dude,
No,
that
nah,
was just
you-
your excuse for losing.
No, because then how would you explain it? Even when I won.
Nah,
When I won. But
dude, I actually have a question for you.
yeah, please.
Now that we're here, bro. So for the viewers, wait. So who's your main audience for this?
Ooh, honestly, we should look at more of the stats, to be completely honest with you. But I really think it depends on the podcast. Believe it or not, I think it
Yeah.
depends on the guest. Who do you want the viewers to be for you?
I mean, I don't know if it's mainly like Spanish people.
No, doubtful.
No. All right. Well, anyway,
It might be Spanish people if you send it to your mates and stuff.
all right. Well, no, I mean, I wanted to ask you, like, we're filming this in Mexico City, right?
Right. Thank you. We are live from Mexico
Yeah,
City.
we're live in Mexico. First and only pod in Mexico City.
Yeah, for now.
And yeah, so what's your thoughts on Mexico City? Like, how's it different from the other places you've been? What's been your like first impression, and like what's your thoughts on each city you visited? Because you've been to a couple different places.
Yeah, man. Thank you. People are gonna think I hired you here to come ask me questions.
I don't want this to be a one-sided thing.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, you know, at the Knobs Dance Court podcast, we always say it's about a conversation, right?
Yeah, I love
So
that.
I appreciate you asking, and you see, I don't need to give you context, and you already knew a little bit about the pod. To answer your question, I'd say I really like Mexico City. I was very, very interested and curious to know what it would be like. Intrigued, thank you. Because I don't know, like in my mind, I've heard so much about it from you and Pedro and your family for how long now? It's been like years that I've heard of it. So I don't know what I expected. I really don't know what I expected. I think you guys made it seem more like not run down, but more, I don't know.
Dude, but also for context, Julian is staying in a pretty nice area, so you have to see
This
the real
area,
Mexico.
this area is nice, but I mean, we've been traveling everywhere. This is the only time we're staying in this area for one night, two nights.
There are parts that aren't as nice, bro.
And we saw them in the car and everything. So it reminds me a little bit of Lebanon from that perspective of like the discrepancy. Although I know you've not been to Lebanon, but every time I used to tell Pedro stories about Lebanon, he'd be like, "Oh, it's the same in Mexico. Like all the street vendors, like literally, you're in the middle of the highway, and there's so much traffic, literally in the middle of nowhere, and there's people selling you anything you want: churros, hats, things to wipe your car." That reminded me of Lebanon. There's you can tell a big wealth gap as well. It also reminds me of Lebanon. And like I said, there's some rundown areas. The roads are terrible, like Lebanon. I love how the drivers do not give a shit about yesterday. Can I share with you a little fun story?
Go ahead.
Yesterday, one of the people that we met, they have a driver here, and they were like, I was going to take an Uber to go, had a session with a client.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're having lunch. Side note, they fed us oysters, and it was my first time having oysters ever. And my dad was like, "Do not have oysters in Mexico," and I had oysters in Mexico.
Dude, they're great here, man.
Yeah, they told me. That's why I had them, because the Mexican people we were with, the locals, said you should have them. So I had them. My stomach was killing me, but anyway, that's besides the point. It's 3:45. I have a session at 4:15, and I'm half an hour from the place we were staying at on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, how am I going to get there? I said, I'm going to order an Uber now. She's like, no. My driver will get you there right now. She was like a local Mexican woman. She was like very local. I say local. She lives here. Very nice woman. I'm not saying like a random woman on the street. Just for clarification. And she's like, okay. So she calls her driver. Cute little old man comes with his vest and everything. Gets in the car. He has the phone in one hand with the Waze. And it was a nice car. I'm like, you sure you don't want to put the Waze on the screen? Mm-hmm. He's like, no. La señora, like the one, like the woman likes that to touch the music, whatever. So he has the Waze on one hand, and then he's driving. Not only did I tell the guy, he's like, what time do you have to be at your hotel? I said, ideally before 4:15, please. He's like, we're half an hour away. We'll get there at 4:17. That's what the Waze said. I was like, okay, what are the chances you can get us there sooner? He's like, count on it. And then I don't know where he like looks at me, goes in the wrong way, cuts 4 red lights, keeps going the wrong way. Like, how do you say it?
Sentido contrario.
Yeah, how do you say it in English? The wrong way? The opposite direction?
Yeah.
Like in the direction he's not allowed to go in. He got me there in 15 minutes. And as he's driving, again, I say, Waze in one hand with the phone, driving, you know how the Mexicans go like this? You know, like they go like this. No, you never seen that?
To say yes?
Yes, to say, yeah. I was like, all the Mexicans, they go, if people who are watching, they'll see me, they go like this. Can you describe this movement that I'm doing for the listeners?
Yeah, it's just to say yes.
But describe it for those who are listening who cannot see it.
Oh, it's just like moving your index finger, like folding it.
And it's like making like a head movement of yes, right? Exactly. And I think it's very polite of the Mexicans doing it. They're doing it because they don't want to interrupt you, I think. So he's doing it, and just think that he's driving. The Waze in one hand, and in his other hand, he's going like this. I'm like, please take the steering wheel. He's going so quick.
But why is he doing this?
We were talking.
Oh god.
He didn't want to interrupt me, so he's going like this. Nobody's taking the steering wheel, and already he's going red lights. He's going so quick. Friend, he got me there in 15 minutes in the middle of Mexico City at rush hour.
So
I was so tense.
You made it to the client.
Yes, I made it to the client. I was so tense. My client asked me, I was like, I'm so out of breath. I keep being out of breath. So that's my little rundown so far in Mexico City.
Then what's been your favorite place so far?
We visited a few, huh? Honestly, I really liked Puebla. Puebla was beautiful.
That's the only one out of the ones you've been. That's the only one I haven't been.
What's your favorite one then? You cannot say Acapulco.
You mean in all of Mexico? Or
You've been, yeah.
Dude, so you guys want to hear a story?
Please.
Dude, so
honestly, actually, I told you it's going to be a quick pod. So actually, we're out of time.
How much time do we have?
We're out of time. Thanks so much, friend. Thanks. No, but I was just telling friend that we don't have so much time. We've been wanting to do this for a while, but it'll be a speedy episode, guys.
Speedy one.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Quickie, if you will.
A quickie, yeah. tell us your story, please.
Dude. So basically, every 2 years, we take a trip to somewhere in Mexico with my mom's family.
Okay.
So yeah, my granddad, he basically like picks a destination and we all go, which is like really cool because I don't know what it is about Mexicans, but you know, once you have what I've seen in Mexican culture is, you know, once you get a bit of money and you have money to go on vacation or whatever, most people choose to go to the US, to Europe. Like that's the cool thing here. Which is funny because in Spain, like maybe the cool thing is to go to Cancun or some shit instead of like Paris, which is like next door. Whereas here, like you go to Paris and you're like a top G, you know? So yeah, so something that I really like is this trip we do every 2 years, which is somewhere within Mexico, which has like allowed me to see a lot of like, you know, more obscure parts of Mexico or like lesser traveled areas, which is really, really cool.
Does Pedro go as well?
Pedro goes as well. He's invited as well. He's technically part of my family. So
good. I was getting worried. So where's the best place you've been on?
Yeah. So the whole point of this is that we've done a lot in the south, which is where Cancun is. I'm sure all of you guys listening have heard of Cancun. But
way to stereotype my audience, friend.
Dude, so Cancun is like in the Mexican peninsula, in the Yucatan Peninsula, which is like in that little, you know, boot thing at the end of Mexico. And that whole area is called Yucatan. And it's like kind of like jungly type of vibes. You know, it's really cool. There's like a lot of Mayan pyramids, a lot of really nice beaches. There's a lot of cenotes, which is like these huge water holes.
Hannah loves cenote, always talks about them.
Yeah. So,
and like Tulum, they have those too, no?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a really cool area. But my favorite one that we did was to this state of Mexico called Chiapas. Okay. Which is a state that I guess historically has been known for this group of people called Zapatistas, which were a group of kind of like rebels in Mexico that sort of fought for human rights and for you know, for the working class to be able to get more land instead of, you know, the just having these owners that make the people work and pay them. But it was really, really cool because you go to all these villages and it's sort of like jungly, but there's a lot of like colonial towns as well, which are really nice. A lot of like waterfalls and things like that and rivers. But there's one village specifically that blew my mind. And it's this village called San Juan Chamula, which has no laws.
Please elaborate.
Has no laws, bro. Dude, so basically, some of this might be wrong, but basically the story goes that it was one of the very few villages in Mexico that never got conquered by the Spanish people. Mm. And what the Spanish did was they evangelized Mexico. So they basically came in and they imposed the Catholic religion. And because the Spanish never conquered that village, they sort of stayed with their sort of native religion and never fully converted to Catholicism. But they ended up with like a type of hybrid. And because they were never conquered, the Mexican government put in like a sort of special protection on that village where basically they can rule themselves, and Mexican law doesn't really take effect there.
Wow.
So like you're allowed to go visit, and you go to the church. There's like a church in the middle of the village, and the church is kind of like, it's weird. It's like a hybrid of Catholic plus native. But you go in, you're not allowed to take photos of the inside because they believe that they have like some sort of belief that it's they'll get trapped in the photo or something. But you go in and they're like sacrificing chickens in the inside of the church. They have like saints up on the walls, but they're also like praying to other gods. And then our guide was also telling us that because they have no laws, like sometimes you'll leave. Or when tourists are gone, they'll take like the people that have been stealing and the thieves, and they'll burn them alive in the middle of the village. Dude, because they can do whatever they want. So
they have no law enforcement, nothing.
No laws.
No police.
No police. And the men have like 3 wives.
So they basically do whatever they want.
They do whatever they want. And they actually
aren't people already doing whatever they want in Mexico though?
Kind of, bro. Kind of, but these guys.
Mexico feels pretty lawless already.
So these guys, so the Mexican government like helps them out by giving money to the wives, but then the men just take the money of the wives, and like that's how they basically live. And then the Mexican government also gives them police cars, so that they can police.
That's wild.
So they can police themselves, but because they basically police themselves, they just put in random people in the police cars, and it's like not uncommon to see like a guy who's like blacked out drunk driving a police car, things like that.
Did you witness that with your
I didn't witness that because I went there for like 3 hours and dipped.
What did your parents think?
Dude, my dad had gone like back in the 30 years ago, because my dad he was a Boy Scout, so he's like visited almost every place in Mexico.
We should be getting him on the pad.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say that, didn't you?
Yeah, I told you he should be on. But yeah, so he had been there, but yeah, it's like a strange place. It's super hot, and all the people are wearing like sheepskin for some reason, like furry sheepskin. They don't like foreigners, so like, or like people from outside the village, so they're like rude to you as well.
You too?
Yeah.
Do they have any commerces and stuff?
Any what?
Commerces?
Yeah.
So restaurants?
So they have like 7-Elevens, but it's like they like twist the branding, so it's like 8-12, you know.
Yeah.
They'll like change it because it's like they don't have like any outside commerces. It's like all from within the village. And another cool thing about that place is my granddad at that time, he was using like one of those one of those things that old people use, bro, to walk. What do you call them?
Walkers?
Yeah, walkers. Exactly. Dude, so he was using a walker because he had just had a surgery.
Okay.
And but he also had a wheelchair. So he forgot the walker in the middle of like the plaza. And we left in the van. And dude, anywhere else in Mexico, like that walker would be gone in like 3 minutes. But we realized,
why? Who are walkers in high demand?
No, dude, people just steal shit, bro.
Even walkers?
Like, bro, just imagine leaving like even in Madrid, like leaving just like
a walker. I don't think anybody would take my walker,
dude. If you leave it for half an hour, you think in La Plaza Mayor, do you think nobody's gonna take it? You think you can leave half an hour, come back, and it'll still be there?
Like, I feel like some people would fuck with me and take it. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
bro. Somebody will take it.
Okay, fair.
And more so in Mexico. And dude, we left like
La Plaza Mayor.
Bro, we left like half an hour, realized, and came back, and the walker was still there, bro.
And what do you attribute that to?
Dude, what I said before, like they find the people that steal shit and they burn them alive in the center. So it's like nobody does anything, bro.
But you just told me it was lawless. So like it kind of feels contradictory, right?
I mean, dude, it's lawless in the sense that the police don't enforce the laws, but obviously they govern themselves. So
interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. What do you think of that? Do you feel like that's better?
Dude, it's like an experiment on anarchy.
Yeah. And what do you think of that? What are your thoughts? Do you like it?
Dude, I don't know. Like, there it seems to work for them, but
would you want it for you here?
No, dude. Like at the end of the day, I think that they also had like some violence problems. Like sometimes they'll go to the mayor's house with guns and like threaten him. So it's like,
yeah,
it's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, delicate waters.
Yeah.
Dang. So
because they have no accountability, right?
Yeah.
Like if the Mexican government does some crazy shit, like they have this whole international pressure, but whereas they're literally,
nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows they exist.
Yeah, exactly. What was the seminar about?
People always need some motivation. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing. You always need some. I think to hear other people's stories can always be encouraging. And they had read about my story or they had heard about it somewhere. Anyway, I just went to share it in detail. I spoke for 20, 25 minutes. And I shared how for 6 months I had only made $49. The story I shared with you last week.
Okay.
But I went into much more depth. And I did it in Spanish, which was very interesting because I'm only used to speaking anything coaching related in English. So it was very interesting to do it in Spanish. And I was very impressed with myself because, I don't know. You remember me. I used to be someone who stuttered a lot when I was younger. Do you remember?
Yeah. But I don't think it was out of nervousness. I think it was just because
I spoke too quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you that I was thinking the other day how 6-7 years ago or less, I don't know, I used to stutter so much. I used to never dare to speak in Spanish unless I was, not because I didn't know how to, because I just didn't feel comfortable to. And now here I am 7 years later being able and comfortably enough to do a fucking speech in front of 90 people in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to boast or brag. I was just really, really proud of myself for it because I was I didn't think I could. And I'm not used to it. And I was so many words. There was, out of all the words I could say, there was one word I couldn't say in Spanish that I had to ask. And thank God my dad was there.
What was it?
I was talking about how for 6 months I had made a deal with my dad. Anyway, it's a really long story, but I was talking about rent, about paying rent, because I was saying I was going to go live back at home for 12 months, and I made a deal with my dad for the next 12 months to just work on building a business and making some money, and I have to figure it out in the next 12 months. And if I don't figure it out in the next 12 months, then I know what's waiting for me after. And I was hopefully for the next 12 months, Dad, you'll let me live at home and not make me pay rent, which is part of the deal that we had made. And I didn't know how to say rent in Spanish. And then he screams on the side. He was there. He's like, alquiler. I was right. Thank you. That's the only word I like. Everything else, commitment. I knew how to say it. And because I talked about commitment and talked about, because literally my story is all about that. Starting my online journey and this coaching journey was that for 6 months, I only made $49. And literally, I remember very well that the week before wanting to, I was so sad, so down. I couldn't understand. I've been working every day, 10 hours plus, working like crazy, doing everything I had to do, seeing all my peers, what they were doing. I was doing the exact same thing. I felt like I was doing it well. I was getting traction, getting good comments, but yet not able to sell a single client. I just made $49. And the week where I was so sad, so down, that same week, I met my first client and got to sign my first client. And then the week after that, my second. And then the week after that, my third, fourth. And it just, to show you, nothing happened. And then everything happened.
Yeah.
So I spoke a lot about resilience, commitment, being able to really honor your word and keep the promises you make for yourself. I went to a lot of that. People were asking questions as well, which was cool. It became somewhat interactive.
Wait, cool. And that was in Querétaro.
In Puebla.
In Puebla.
That was really cool. And Puebla was a beautiful, beautiful city. I really found it beautiful. Really cute, quaint. It was cute. I liked it. Querétaro was nice as well today. Aguascalientes was interesting. I really liked it. Aguascalientes reminded me a lot. It's
very industrial, right?
But it reminded me a lot of the US.
Yeah.
In a way.
Exactly.
I don't know what about it, but it reminded me a lot of whenever I'm in Vegas, in the suburbs of Vegas and stuff. But honestly, bravo. You have a beautiful, beautiful country.
Dude, but you have to come back and because right now it's kind of like a business trip.
Yes, and it is. I have to come back. That's what they told my dad today, believe it or not. You Mexicans left the party, huh?
Yeah, no, but you have to come back for 2 weeks, bro, and come with my brother as well, bro, and just actually have a Mexico proper Mexico
with you guys,
experience. Yeah, bro, and we can go Acapulco, bro, the beach.
Perfect.
There's also San Miguel, bro. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Not familiar.
But it's a colonial town, super nice, bro. So yeah, I think there's so much stuff we can do that you'd really enjoy. I
love that.
Also, bro, the football here, bro, Estadio Azteca.
Oh, we have to go play. No, but we want to go play.
Oh yeah,
and watch.
I'm gonna go this Sunday though.
I'm sure they're. Oh yeah, you didn't invite me.
You're gone. But no, going to Estadio Azteca, bro. That's where Maradona.
Mundial, right? Well.
That's where Maradona won with the La Mano de Dios.
It was here in Mexico City.
It was here, bro. And
you're full of fun facts.
Exactly. And he won the World Cup here, bro.
Argentina?
With Argentina.
Damn. And are they going to use that stadium for the Mundial?
And dude, Pelé also won here in the Estadio.
Do you think Mexico City likes hosting these big players?
Dude, we've had 2 World Cups, Pelé and Maradona, 1970 and 1986.
And now is the Mundial in 2026 going to be here as well?
Yeah, bro. That's dude, like that's one sporting event where like, I gotta go. I don't care what the cost is. I'm gonna go.
Are you saving up for it?
I'm saving up, dude. Like how many times in your lifetime is it gonna happen where your home country is playing a World Cup in your country?
If you have multiple passports, probably a few.
Okay, for Spain, how many times has it happened?
None yet.
It's gonna happen once.
Okay, and then it'll happen. It's happening in Canada also. It's 2026, so that'll be my home country as well.
So it's gonna happen once for you in 2026.
It's gonna happen once for me in 2026,
and that's probably the only time. Maybe one more time in your lifetime. But
how do you know it's not gonna happen in Lebanon?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things have to happen before.
Man, if it's happening in Mexico City, who says it's gonna happen in Lebanon? I told you Mexico City reminds me of Lebanon.
Yeah. No, but dude, like. It's like the sporting event that I have to go to.
Okay. So you'll send us pictures.
I'll send. No, you're gonna be here, dude.
I'm gonna join you.
It's 90,000 people in like one of the most iconic stadiums in the world.
Okay. You're right.
Your national team.
Unless you convinced me, man.
The only thing is Mexico needs to improve a little bit because we're ass right now.
I don't know you were. I guess I didn't know you were big into football. I didn't know that you followed the Mexican football so much, but I guess it makes sense, right?
Yeah, we just beat Pochettino.
Really?
You know what Pochettino's doing?
What is he doing?
He's in the U.S. team.
He's the trainer for the U.S. soccer team?
Yeah, bro. They just came to
Guadalajara. Since when?
Dude, since like a couple months ago.
Damn, he really went there?
He went there, bro. And yeah, we just beat them, so keep your eyes peeled for Mexico.
Keep your eyes peeled for Mexico. Man. If you had to describe Mexico in one word, what would that word be? I gave you mine.
What was yours?
Interesting.
Come on, that's basic. That's basic.
Okay, you're right. Let me think of something better then.
No, I think it would be it'd probably have to be in 2 though.
Okay. I'll give you that. Go ahead.
I think it would be like a mixture between like dark and alive.
Okay. I see that. That's pretty well described, actually.
Dude, like that's something that Guillermo del Toro, he's like a very famous.
I know him. What's one of his favorite one of his most known movies?
He did Pan's Labyrinth. He did Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm. One more. Man, you're a guy. Clearly, you're a guy of facts. I need to get you here as my fact guy. You know how Joe Rogan has. Jamie?
Oh, he did. What's that movie that won the Oscar? That's
the one I'm thinking about.
Of the fish.
The fish.
You know this woman that starts dating like this fish, this like human that's kind of like a fish. Oh, The Shape of Water.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't know it was about a fish.
That's him as well. But basically, that's how he describes Mexico. That's like it's like a country where, you know, in theory, if you look at it in straight terms, there could be a lot to be sad about, and it could be very dreary. But I think the people here just have a way of making things happy and looking at like the funny side of the dark things and looking at the the happy things of the twisted things. So it's just like the energy here is different, and people are just like happy. They're like, they make jokes out of everything. So yeah, dude, I fucking love Mexico City. I love Mexico.
I can tell you, dude.
I think it's the best country in the world.
I can tell you, dude. But you know what's cool? As out of all the people we met so many that look so Lebanese, and telling people that you're Lebanese here is so interesting because there's so many that are Lebanese. My dad was telling me the story about how he met this guy the other day at the event we were at, and he tells the guy like, the guy asked my dad, he's like, "Where are you from?" My dad's like, "Lebanon." He's like, "No way, me too." Dad was like, "No way, you were also born in Lebanon?" He's like, "No." My dad is like, "Your father?" He's like, "No." He says, "Who?" "My grandpa." And like all of them, like
there's a big Lebanese community here.
It's crazy, but so many are like Lebanese lineage, and like one of the guys was so happy to show us his 23andMe, He was 100%,
Lebanese.
100% Levantine, which is basically like Phoenician, which is crazy. Crazy.
That's crazy.
There's
Dude,
so much.
Okay, are we allowed to take a bathroom break?
Where actually I was about to. How did you know I was about to wrap up? Are we connected? I know it's a shame. I usually we go for another half hour, man, but it's already 11:27.
Okay,
and
we gotta bounce.
and I think we should bounce. But before we do bounce, one of the things that I wanted to tell your friend is, firstly, you were one of my dream guests to get on the podcast.
Thank you, bro.
Your witty humor, your knowledge about so many things, your incredible questions.
Thank you, bro.
Many guests could learn.
We gotta do a more extended version.
Yes, 100%. This is why what I wanted. I was happy with even just getting you for 33 minutes and 28 seconds and counting.
I mean, I'll tease a fact. Might be in Madrid soon.
Oh,
I don't know when, but
hopefully it coincides
yeah, exactly.
when I'm there. But just before you go and you bounce and you go to the bathroom again. Sorry. The question
Again, bro.
Putting you on the spot here. The question that I have for you, and
It was hours ago.
that we ask at the DDC pod, we usually like to ask our guests a lot about music. I know you and I, we have had our fair share of tunes that we've shared. I remember you driving me to football, playing some different tunes.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when we were at your house and you had your Mexican friend over. Pedro was there and you played "Put Me Through" by Anderson .Paak. I don't know why I remember that so well, but it was one of the first times I heard that song and I loved how good is that song.
Amazing. Anderson is
How does it go?
crazy.
How does it go already?
Nah, bro, you gotta sing it.
I forgot. "Put Me Through" Anderson .Paak. I completely forgot. Don't be shy.
You
can sing it if you know. I don't
remember it, bro. You can remember it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, my question is, as I'm speaking to you right now about music, I'd love for you to give me one song that you're currently vibing with, that you love, that's coming up to mind right now as I'm speaking. It's flashing in your brain.
Can I look at it on my Spotify?
But is that, clearly, it's not so important to you if you don't remember it.
Yeah, I do. But
Okay, then go take your phone then. If that's the one that you want it to be.
It'll be like the last one I listened to. I'm just trying to remember it.
Okay, but then you got to sing "Put Me Through" if you want to check your phone. That's the only thing. That's the only request.
Oh, Stories About My Brother.
By who?
Drake.
Stories About My Brother. Why are you choosing that song?
Dude, listen to the
You
lyrics.
miss Pedro.
I miss Pedro. Shout out Pedro if you're listening to this. But yeah, dude, I feel like it actually works in really well with this podcast. Pedro was like our initial connection.
The glue.
I feel like he's both my brother and your brother.
Yes, true.
And
The glue. The true glue.
dude, that song is just it's sort of going viral right now, but it's just great. Like, listen to the lyrics. It's like, let me stop talking about myself, and he starts describing his brother. It's great.
Man, okay. Much love, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So many more coming soon. Much love, my friend.